Jennifer Lopez is the queen when it comes to dressing the Pear body shape. In this video, I'm going to be sharing exact style tips that will help dress this shape. Before we dive into the video, let's quickly recap on what it means to have a pear body shape. Now, I'm doing a series on the different body shapes, and in my introductory video, which you can check out, I discussed how to decide what body shape you are and then how to dress for each body shape. And I gave a little bit of information about each of the different body shapes. So you can check that video out. So what does it mean to be a pear-shaped body? Well, with a pear-shaped body, normally you have more rounded shoulders and a smaller bust area, and then you have wider hips and thigh area. So it kind of makes you look like a pear, but we don't want to label our bodies as fruit. It's just for the purposes of giving you an example of what this shape looks like that I'm using this. So just like all of the body shapes, the eye likes symmetry. So one of the rules that I have mentioned previously is about all body shapes creating the illusion of the hourglass shape. Now, the reason we do this is because the eye, as I mentioned, likes balance and it likes symmetry. So with all the body shapes, we're trying to recreate that hourglass shape. So how do we do that with the pear shape? With the pear shape, it's all about our eye focusing on the upper half of our body and looking for ways and styles that create balance, so that there's balance with our shoulders, balancing out with our hips. So again, it's like that hourglass shape. So what are the styles that work best with the pear shape body? With the pear shape, as I mentioned, it's all about the detail, and it's about creating detail on the top half of your body. So you might do that with, prints or embellishments to your top. You might use like frills, or you might use the use of color, like bright colors. It's all about drawing the eye upward to this area of the body and taking the focus away from your sort of hips and your thigh area. But that's only if you want to do that. If you want to focus on your hips and thighs, that is fine. These are all just guidelines to help you if you want to learn how to style a particular body shape like the pear shape. When it comes to jackets and blazers for this body shape, it's great if they have some shoulder pads or some structure at the top that sort of makes the shoulders squarer and more balanced in line with the hips and the thighs. And you want sort of a bit of a structure, so you want jacket maybe to be a more sort of come in at the waist. The key with the jackets though is to remember that the hemline should be above the hip area or below the thigh area. You don't want it coming across the hip and the widest part of your hips and thighs, because that will just sort of make that area look bigger. The best form of skirt is the A-line skirt. So again, it looks like the bottom half of that hourglass. So the hourglass goes out like this at the bottom. So the A-line skirt is the same. So you want that for the pear-shaped body because it will skim over your hips and your thigh area and bring balance to the lower half of your body. And the same thing with trousers. You don't want tight fitting trousers that show off that part of the body. Unless, of course, as I've mentioned, you do want to show off your curves, then it's fine. As I said, these are just guidelines. If you don't want to highlight your hips and your thigh area, then go for a more loose fitting trousers. And there's so many great styles around nowadays, you know, it's not just the old skinny jeans anymore. So that really helps in terms of finding trousers for the pear-shaped body. I haven't really talked much about how Jennifer Lopez does this, but if you look at the way she dresses, she uses all of these types of rules for dressing her pear-shaped body. She will use, you know, a lot of tops that draw attention to the top half of her area with details, with colour, with prints, embellishments, that sort of thing. And then she does tend to she wears more trousers than skirts, I've noticed, and she does tend to wear sort of more loose fitting trousers on the lower half of her body. So she is just a master when it comes to dressing the pear-shaped body. The other type of style garments that are really good and accessories is wrap dresses. Wrap dresses are really your best friend when it comes to the pear-shaped body because, again, it's creating that hourglass effect. The other thing that's really good is belts. Belts are great for the pear-shaped body because you bring the focus into this part of your shape, and again, that's sort of creating that hourglass type of shape and bringing attention sort of to this area and up. Now, the other tip I want to talk about is colour, and I did talk about this in terms of the apple body shape. And colour is great for creating different looks. So with colour, light colours expand and dark colours recede. So when it comes to dressing the pear body shape, you want the light colours on top and you want the darker colours on the bottom. Whereas with the apple body shape, you normally wear the darker colours on top and the lighter colours on the bottom. That's all the style tips that I have for dressing the pear body shape. I hope you found this useful, and let me know in the comments if you do start to use any of these tips and you see a difference in how to dress this shape. Also, I'd love to know what tips you use if you're the pear body shape. Let me know in the comments. So thanks for being here. I hope you found this useful. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you want to know more about this styling content, as I said, I'm doing a series on body shape, then please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.